What if I told you that everything you believe about your identity is an illusion? Your sense of self, that little voice inside your head telling you who you are, is nothing more than a temporary construct, like a sandcastle washed away by the tide. But this is just the beginning of what Alan Watts discovered, an exploration that dives deep into the very fabric of existence itself. Watts, a renowned philosopher and interpreter of Eastern thought for the Western world, challenged the conventional wisdom of individuality. He suggested a radical notion. You are not a separate entity, but rather a vital thread woven into the vast tapestry of the universe. This idea resonates universally, whether you hail from the bustling streets of New York, the serene landscapes of New Zealand, or the vibrant markets of Nairobi. Imagine standing by a river, watching the water flow. When you observe carefully, the river isn't merely a collection of droplets. It's a single living entity. Where does one droplet end and the river begin? The truth is, they are inseparable. Similarly, Watts argued that your I is just a temporary manifestation of the greater flow of life. He said, you are the universe experiencing itself. Now, think about that for a moment. What if the quest for understanding yourself means looking not inward, but outward? What if God, or the divine, isn't a distant figure in the clouds, calling judgment, but rather the very essence of life surrounding you? This profound realization invites you to re-evaluate everything you thought you knew about spirituality and existence. In our modern world, filled with distractions and noise, seeking the divine often feels daunting. Yet Watts urges us to trace our path inward, to discover that divinity isn't something you seek outside. It's intrinsic to who you are. It's found in the moments of quiet reflection when you pause and simply breathe. Those moments are where genuine connection occurs, not just with yourself, but with everything around you. As you walk this journey, remember that you're not alone. In those still moments, you commune with the universe, participate in its expansive dialogue, and encounter a profound sense of belonging. This understanding isn't simply an abstract philosophical concept. It's a visceral truth that can dramatically alter how you view your existence. Yet this revelation opens a door to something unexpected, a way of perceiving the world that may challenge everything you thought you understood. Are you ready to step through? Let's embark on this exploration of the interconnectedness of all things and discover the hidden links that tie you not just to your surroundings, but to the universe itself. This revelation, however, is just the tip of the iceberg as we delve deeper into the complexities of human experience. While the initial exploration of interconnectedness may evoke a sense of belonging, there lies a darker side that stirs quietly beneath the surface. The notion of isolation is an uncomfortable truth that we often avoid, an integral part of the human condition that contrasts sharply with Watts' ideals of unity. What they don't tell you is that while we are all pieces in the grand puzzle of existence, many of us feel like solitary figures navigating a vast expanse of emptiness. Consider a mirror that reflects not only what is before it, but an infinite array of images, each representing the unique yet disconnected selves we portray to the world. Though we are all part of the same reality, that reality can feel isolating, as if we're actors playing roles in a play where we forget our lines amidst the chaos of life. In this constant pursuit of meaning, many adhere to the popular belief that happiness lies in connection and community. Yet, we must confront the uneasy fact that human nature often tilts towards separation and fear. It's easier to cling to our individual narratives, the stories we tell ourselves, than to embrace the vulnerability that comes with true connection. The very desire to stand apart, to forge our identities in isolation, can lead to profound loneliness. Alan Watts warned against the perils of misunderstanding our place in the cosmos. He famously stated, "The more a thing tends to be permanent, the more it tends to be lifeless." In this, we find a cautionary tale. The quest for a permanent identity can suffocate the vitality of our experience. The moment we cling too tightly to our self-concept, we risk losing touch with the vibrant flow of life that surrounds us. Our fears and insecurities begin to shape our identity, creating shadows that obscure our true essence. The very fabric of existence we yearn to understand becomes tangled in the web of our isolating thoughts. Yet in this darkness exists an opportunity for transformation. Acknowledging our isolation can illuminate the shadows and reveal the deeper connections we often overlook. Instead of shying away from solitude, what if we leaned into it? By understanding our own complexities, we can learn to appreciate the intricate threads that bind us to each other and the universe. This journey of self-discovery reveals that while isolation may be an inescapable part of life, it does not define us. Instead, it serves as a catalyst for growth, urging us to seek not just connection, but understanding. In our individual stories, we can find the commonalities that unite us, a shared experience of the human condition that transcends cultural and geographical boundaries. As we move toward the next chapter of this exploration, stay open to the paradox of existence. In acknowledging our isolation, we may yet discover our truest selves in the expansive dialogue of life. What awaits us beyond this threshold is a reconnection with the world around us, an embracing of the dance between light and shadow that defines our very being. The narrative is far from over. It is merely the beginning of a profound journey into the heart of our shared reality. In our modern age, the concept of identity is more fluid and complex than ever before. With each scroll of a social media feed, a new persona emerges, carefully constructed from curated moments and edited snapshots. The plot thickens when you realize that this digital representation often becomes a form of addiction, an endless pursuit for validation and identity. The more likes and shares we receive, the more anchored our self-worth becomes to these fleeting affirmations. We may think we're connecting with others, yet many find themselves feeling more isolated than ever, trapped in a cycle of comparing curated versions of reality. This brings us to the intricacies of professional dissatisfaction, a theme prevalent across continents. Whether in London's bustling streets or the tech hubs of San Francisco, the relentless grind for success often leaves individuals feeling unfulfilled. The prevailing belief is that our worth is defined by our roles and status. Yet, this equation can lead to a paradox of meaninglessness. People chase promotions or accolades, only to find that these achievements do little to quench their thirst for purpose. This notion echoes Watt's assertion that the more a thing tends to be permanent, the more it tends to be lifeless. When we structure our identities around external successes, we risk losing the vibrancy of our true selves. As we navigate this landscape, the need for authentic relationships becomes paramount. This is where it gets really interesting. True connection does not thrive on superficial exchanges, but in the shared experiences that resonate deeply. Whether it's the warmth of a conversation over a pint in an Irish pub, or the camaraderie built during community projects in Sydney, genuine bonds are forged through vulnerability and shared humanity. We often overlook these connections, distracted by the ambient noise of our digitally enhanced lives. Yet authentic connection can ground us, reminding us of our shared existence rather than our isolated narratives. Yet in this era of hyperconnectivity, modern anxiety and information overload loom large. Each notification triggers a rush, igniting a fleeting sense of urgency and importance. We grapple with the overwhelming influx of data and opinions, each vying for our attention, creating a cacophony that drowns out the stillness we so deeply need. The constant bombardment can lead to a sense of disorientation, making it difficult to discern what truly matters. Here lies the irony. In our attempt to stay informed, we can become disconnected from our own realities, missing the simple joy of a quiet moment spent in reflection or in nature. As we reflect on these themes, an opportunity arises for us to rewire our understanding of identity and existence. By recognizing that the quest for self is not a solitary journey, but rather a collective interplay of experiences, we reclaim our place in the greater narrative of life. Each of us is like a note in a jazz improvisation, contributing our unique sound to a harmonious ensemble. Where the beauty lies in both the planned and the spontaneous, in navigating through social media's illusions, professional dissatisfaction, the hunger for authentic relationships, and the barrenness wrought by information overload, we find the potential for transformation. Rather than relying solely on external validations, we can lean into our shared humanity, embracing the rhythms of life that weave us all together. By nurturing genuine connections and finding clarity amidst chaos, we can rediscover our true essence, interconnected beings thriving in a vast, vibrant cosmos. From this understanding, a renewed sense of purpose can emerge, guiding us toward a fulfilling existence that honors both individuality and unity. In the end, the story we tell about ourselves is but one thread in the rich tapestry of life, one that is continually shaped by every interaction and experience around us. In a world rife with noise and distraction, the journey towards understanding both our individual existences and our collective interconnectedness is more vital than ever. Walking through this bustling digital landscape, filled with curated personas and relentless striving for absurd milestones, we often forget the profound essence of our shared humanity. The rabbit hole goes even deeper when we examine the ways in which our identities are not just personal stories, but threads woven into a greater communal tapestry. Imagine attending a jazz concert where musicians riff off one another in a beautifully chaotic performance. Each note played is an extension of the improvisational dialogue that unfolds within the moment. Now, consider this analogy in the context of identity. Our experiences, like musical notes, resonate through the network of human connections, blending into harmony. It's a delicate dance where vulnerability takes center stage, creating spaces for authenticity in an environment that can often feel disingenuous. What makes this aspect intriguing is the interplay between the individual's perception and the world around them. We exist not in isolation, but as integral parts of a greater whole. This truth unfolds subtly within our daily interactions. The reality is that the story we tell ourselves often lacks acknowledgement of our role as participants in a collective narrative. In this way, we can become entrapped in the illusion that our identity stands alone. where the constant chase for external validation overshadows our understanding of deeper, more fulfilling connections. Alan Watts once suggested that the most important thing in life is to find out who you are and work out how you can make a contribution. This invites us to reflect on how much of our existence is shaped not solely by our achievements, but by our impact on those around us. Our contributions are crafted through shared experiences, and it is in recognizing this interplay that we can move from the isolation of a singular narrative to the rich complexity of communal existence. Yet, amidst this exploration, we cannot ignore the challenges posed by modern society. As individuals in cities like London, New York, Sydney, or Nairobi, we often chase after dreams pieced together by societal expectations, neglecting our intrinsic desires and the nuances of our emotional landscapes. Such pursuits risk stifling our true essence, where the hunger for status may overshadow the softer whispers of connection and authenticity. Every time we engage with our digital interfaces, the kaleidoscope of our social realities can often feel more dissonant than harmonious. At this juncture, we are confronted with the opportunity to redefine our understanding of identity by embracing the notion that we are not only singular beings, but also participants in a complex ecosystem. We can cultivate a narrative that values connection over isolation. Each of us brings something unique to the conversation of life, echoing the sentiments of our shared journeys. Recognizing our interdependence shifts our focus from self-absorption to communal support, revealing the beauty in our collective humanity, rather than becoming ensnared in the relentless cycle of comparison or competition. We can learn to nurture authenticity within ourselves and celebrate it in others. In doing so, we embrace the imperfections that come with being human, acknowledging that vulnerability is in fact our greatest strength. Through genuine dialogue, deeper relationships can arise, stitching the gaps of separation, and creating a foundation on which a richer community can flourish. In this pivotal exploration of interconnectedness, we discover that while we each navigate our paths through life, the journey can become profoundly more enriching when we recognize our roles as active participants in the vibrant fabric of society. By fostering authentic relationships and appreciating the simple yet profound moments of connection, we can revitalize our sense of belonging. Ultimately, this journey reveals not only who we are, but also the resonating impact we can have on the world around us, opening the door to a deeper understanding of ourselves in the intricate dance of life. So let us embrace this journey with open hearts, ever aware that each note in our collective improvisation contributes to the grand symphony we all share. In a world indifferent to the whispers of the soul, we embarked on a journey to explore the very nature of existence and identity. We started by asking what it truly means to exist, and found ourselves confronting the haunting illusion of separateness, unraveling the threads that weave our narratives into the collective human experience. Then we discovered that the construct of self is but a fleeting mirage, a temporary manifestation shaped by social expectations and personal fears. And now we stand at a precipice, gazing into the abyss of profound interconnectedness that binds us all. The central revelation emerging from this exploration is that the boundaries we impose on ourselves, those elusive barriers of identity, exist only in our minds. We are not solitary islands adrift in an ocean of existence. Rather, we are vibrant threads interlaced in the fabric of the universe. This truth is both liberating and unsettling, for in recognizing our inherent connection to everything around us, we also confront the stark reality of isolation that permeates human existence. We are caught in a paradox where the deeper we understand our unity, the more pronounced our loneliness can feel. To live with this knowledge is to embrace both the light and dark facets of the human experience. It demands that we cultivate awareness in the moments of stillness, allowing ourselves to step beyond the distractions of modern life that numb our senses and compel us to chase hollow achievements. This means forging connections that resonate with authenticity, breaking down the facades we erect in our personal and professional lives. It is only through these genuine relationships that we can begin to appreciate our shared humanity, transforming the